Hello everybody, welcome to Chinese Pod. I'm Joy.
And I'm Joe.
In today's 成语, we're going to talk about a structure with the first word is 一 and the third word is 不. So it's like one something, not something. Tell us more about this structure.
We used to say something in English like not even one of something, right?
Like not even a little bit.
Yeah, not even a little bit, not even something of this. Okay, and the structure that comes with this is often that after the "i" you have a noun, and then after the "bu" you have a verb. So it's like even one of this, you don't do something with it. And that's the structure it follows here, and that will follow with all the 成语 we are talking about today.
Let's look at the 成语 now. Okay, our first 成语 is 一言不发. Let's talk about the tone change first.
Okay, yeah, because here we have "i" together with something else, and "i" is a little bit special in tone changes. We have a series to that as well. You can have the link in the comment section below. But "i", if it's alone, it's only the first tone. But if you pair it up with a fourth tone, then it becomes the second tone. And paired up with any other tone, it's the fourth tone. So here it's paired up with a second tone, yen. So then the "i" gets to be a "i", and then it becomes "i", yen.
Okay, so 一言, yen means word. So 一言 means one word. And next we have the last two, 不发. There's no tone change for that one. 发 here is to send out or to give out, as in a word. So the whole meaning would be...
Not even speaking or saying one word.
Yeah. So in Chinese, when you say somebody is 一言不发, it's a little bit ominous. They're probably being a bit serious, or there might be some problem that they're not telling you about. It's not just a person being silent. Mostly, there's a connotation that they're thinking a lot, but they're not expressing it. Do you know anybody like this?
Maybe like my dad, because sometimes when I was a little bit younger and came home maybe a little bit too late, he was basically sitting in the dark room, in the dark living room, and once I opened the door and turned on the light, he was just sitting there and staring at me like,
Oh my gosh, that's so creepy.
making me feel guilty, like, where have you been, but without saying anything. It's like,
This is when you just pretend you don't know what's wrong. You're like, oh, hey, Dad, what's up?
oh, what are you doing here in the dark corner of the living room?
So I've got a sentence for your dad. 爸爸坐在那儿，一言不发，他怎么了?
Yeah, who knows what's going on, right? So I pretended I didn't know what was going on. I thought he was sleepwalking maybe, and then I turned off the lights and left to my room, and then he started yelling.
Oh, does that happen a lot?
Not so often, maybe twice.
I have a friend who does this a lot. Every time she's upset, she never tells her boyfriend what's wrong, and he knows that she's mad because she won't respond. I don't think that's a good habit, but I think a
No.
lot of people like to do this.
It's like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, exactly. So here we can use this sentence to describe her. 她生气的时候常常一言不发.
So when she's mad, she often doesn't say any word.
Bad habit. Yeah, it's terrible. Okay. Or now the creepier one is not just not saying anything. The creepier one is like your dad when they don't say anything and just stare at you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and that one goes, 他一言不发地看着我.
Oh, okay. So that might, I don't know, I have like a stranger in my head who like looks at you without saying anything. So that gets kind of creepy then already, right?
Yeah. So 一言不发的, do you want to explain that structure?
So in the beginning we just had it more as an action in itself. Like we said, 爸爸一言不发. And now we have it as an adverb together with the to describe an action.
So you can say 一言不发的 and then followed by a verb. So it could be 一言不发地看着我, or like we mentioned about dad, 一言不发地坐在那儿.
So he's sitting there silently without any word.
Creepy. So I have another one that's also about not making a sound, but it's not really speaking. It's just a sound in general. That's 一声不响.
Okay. 一声 sheng is like a tone, a sound, right? And xiang is to make a sound or to ring.
Ring.
So like not even making one sound.
Yes, and here we also have that tone change as well. 一声不响. So we can actually use it to describe that very same scenario after Dad was creepily sitting there staring at Joe, and then Joe silently walked away pretending nothing was wrong. We can say 他一声不响地离开了.
So I left silently without making any noises, or probably just like the tiniest noises.
Yeah, like trying not to make a sound. Maybe also because something's wrong.
Definitely I was way too late.
Okay, so 一声不响 is intentionally being quiet. Okay, we can also say somebody who's working very hard and really just clattering away but not making any other noise. We can say 他一声不响地工作.
So he's working silently, but actually we're talking about probably just like super focused without, just like here at this space and not doing anything else, focused and silent.
Maybe he's studying or working on something really intently, okay? Or again, just like the last one, something a little bit creepier. 他一声不响地看着我.
Okay, so looking at me, staring at me silently. Which one sounds creepier, the first one or this one?
Honestly, I think the second one, because the first one is no words are said. So I might feel like maybe he doesn't want to express it at the moment. But if it was no sound made at all, it's like even the sound in your brain is silent. It's like an intense emotion. So I think that's a little bit scarier.
Okay. And we can use this here the same way with this the to describe the action again, right?
Exactly. So it's used as an adverb. Okay, so these two 成语 can be used interchangeably in terms of the structure, even though the meanings are slightly different. So I can say, 爸爸坐在那儿一言不发，他怎么了? Or 爸爸坐在那儿一声不响，他怎么了? In the same way, when we have the afterwards and we use it as an adverb, we can say, 爸爸一言不发的看着我 or 爸爸一声不响的看着我 both equally creepy. So the next one I have here is a good visual. It goes 一毛不拔.
Okay, 毛 is hair and 拔 is to pluck. So I cannot even pluck one hair. Literally correct, right? I would think that maybe means something I cannot even take the tiniest thing out of something because maybe otherwise it creates chaos or something.
Oh, so here 一毛不拔 the 不 here it's like won't instead of can. So it's like I won't even pluck one hair. So historically, Chinese people have been through very difficult times. And this 成语 comes from a story about a person who won't even pluck one hair, even if he knew that it would save a lot of people.
Oh, so it's completely different. It's more about stinginess.
Exactly. Or like being very miserly or just saying, I won't even help you out, even though this tiny action could save a lot of people because I need to watch out for myself.
And for my hair.
And keep all of my hairs intact.
Okay.
Okay, so we're talking about somebody who's super stingy and won't even give a little bit to help someone out. Let me give you an example. Real story. 汤姆是个一毛不拔的人，从来不借别人钱。
Tangmu, we are talking about the same Tom, right? Okay, so this Tom is very stingy, so he would never lend money to anyone. And yeah, I had to learn that when we went to lunch once and I forgot my wallet. Okay, so I asked him to lend me money, but he wouldn't do. Nothing was able to convince him to do it. So it was only 1 or 2 euros equivalent.
Oh, so cheap.
But no, I had to go back to the office and get the money and yeah.
No can do. So he doesn't have a very good reputation. 这个人一毛不拔，大家都不喜欢他。
So nobody likes him because he's stingy and selfish.
It makes sense.
Yeah. So today we talked about 成语 that all have i and 不 inside, and they all followed the same structure. This i something, 不 something, and they mean won't even do something. The first one was not even speaking one word.
一言不发. Now, I'm not saying anything, but I'm probably grumpy or angry.
Okay. The next one was just speaking about silence itself, and we said not even making one noise.
一声不响, and it could be used to talk about people in different moods.
And the last one we said, I would not even pluck one hair.
一毛不拔. Okay, so I'm going to put all these together and give a tribute to our good friend Tom.
Okay.
汤姆是个一毛不拔的人。
Okay, we know that already. Tom is very stingy.
每次付钱的时候，他都一言不发。
So whenever he has to pay, he just goes blank silent without saying any words. But I guess he's expressing his grumpiness then.
然后一声不响的离开。
And then just walks away silently without making any noises.
So do you know anybody like that? Please make some sentences down below, or if you know any other 成语 with 一 and 不, also let us know as well. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Joy.
And I'm Joe.
下次见，拜
拜拜。
拜。
Chinese pot, Chinese pot.